Science class 12th. We are continuing the chapter Security in the Contemporary World. And you were told about the meaning of security, threat to security, traditional and non traditional threats, and the ways to deal the challenge related to the traditional threat to the security. And you remember that is mainly related to the military threats. Okay, military threat or foreign aggression for the security of a country. Now we are moving on to the security and cooperation related to the non-traditional threats. Non-traditional threats, the threats which occurred, which emerged in recent years. Okay, migration, poverty, hunger, terrorism, some kind of epidemics, etc. So how to deal such threats that do not cover or that are not related to a particular country, but they are seen at global level. So here, what is required to deal such situation or tackle such conditions? That is possible only by cooperation. Okay, so as traditional threats to security are, we know that mainly they are mainly related to the military threats and military power. So they can be challenged or tackled or faced by the same ways, like by increasing your own military capabilities. But non traditional threats are non military threats. This is the main difference between these two. So they are not related to the force or military attack. So such threats are to be dealt by different ways, and that is not by confrontation or clashes or attacking each other using force, but by cooperating with each other across the countries, and that too at global level. Whichever area or no matter how many countries are affected, they all have to cooperate with each other, okay, in tackling the issues that are non traditional or new types of problems, like threats like terrorist attack. It may be controlled by force, but global terrorism needs cooperation between various countries. Okay, and that too when the force is to be used, only then the because we know terrorists, they are the people or group of people that use force, that use violent means. So tit for tat, so such situation can be used by using force only, but that sanction is required that other countries would also cooperate in this situation. All right, but migration, migration movement of the people from one country to the other countries due to various reasons. But migration, poverty, epidemics, pandemics, these are the issues that do not need any kind of military force, and if military force is used, the conditions would be the worst and they might be out of control. And we can take the latest current problem, which is a burning issue of today's situation, and you all are aware of that. And that situation is the what of COVID-19, which is the best example, though the condition is the worst, but what we can say, that is the current burning issue. And in order to tackle this situation, how to find the ways to defeat and control this COVID-19, that is possible only when all the countries collectively fight for it. And in reality also we see that all the countries, their scientists, their researchers, they are day and night without getting rest, they are fighting And the warriors, we all know, COVID, no, warriors, fighters, they all are helping each other at global level, okay, so that this situation can be under control. And they share their views, finding the ways to help each other, in whatever way they can use this. So that is what related to the non-traditional threat to the security that can be challenged, that can be controlled, not by clash, confrontation or war, but by cooperation, even with the countries with whom the conditions or the terms are not normal in routine. But under certain conditions, such situation, the enmity is to be forgotten and cooperation is required. And India especially, not only India but other countries also do help each other in such critical situation. But that doesn't mean that in non-traditional threat to security, the force is not to be used. No, the force can also be used in non-traditional threats to security like terrorism. But what is required? That can be used only in certain conditions, all right, which are very critical, and they are dangerous for the lives of the common people especially. Okay, so the force can be used in certain critical conditions and situations, like against those government also that kill their own innocent people or ignore their torturing or killing, or are not able to protect their lives. Okay, and we know that the main purpose and objective of the government is to protect the people. Okay, one of the main obligatory function, and when it is not able to protect the lives of the people, the innocent people, then what is the use of such government? That is a weak and failed government. So force can be used to what can be used against such governments that fail to fulfill their main responsibilities, and it may even be used against the countries and the government that promote violence, terrorism, and harbor them or give shelter to the terrorists of various groups that are working in various conditions. Okay, so non-traditional threats can be controlled only when the use of force is sanctioned and applied also collectively. If one individual country is allowed or is doing or using the force to control this terrorism or other non-traditional threats, so that will not be so effective. It will be effective only when other countries also come and join that operation. Okay, so this is possible when it is applied collectively by the international community rather than deciding such situation by an individual country. Okay, and for this we have what? Cooperation that can be multilateral, bilateral, regional or international, and there are various organizations that are international organizations and many NGOs also that are working and that are there to work in such situation or direction. For example, United Nations Organization, World Health Organization, we all are familiar these days related to the World Health Organization, World Bank, okay, IMF. These are the international organizations, and there are NGOs also like Amnesty, International Amnesty, okay, Red Cross, trade unions, social and development organization, etc. These are also, and some great personalities also that guide and show the way to tackle such situation. Okay, so this is the way how the non-traditional security can be controlled at any level, and what is required? The cooperation and not the use of force. Thank you.